Monza GSE injection wiring loom part 2. So this is where the wiring loom comes through the bulkhead. As I said, it's above the main wiring loom, and it splits into several pieces. One piece is for the airflow meter, which comes around underneath the brake servo and along here, and then plugs into the airflow meter. The airflow meter is missing on this car, but this is where it's positioned. So the wiring goes like that somehow. The second branch is for the actual injectors, which, as this car has had the inlet manifold removed, they're just wire hanging loose. The injector leads are numbered, as you can see. There we are. Cylinder 2. It doesn't matter terribly if you get them mixed up, because the injectors actually fire in 2 pairs of 3. They're not sort of sequential like the ignition, but obviously it's better to have them in the correct place. Obviously these cars are now so old that the little writing on the wires is often long since gone, but there you are, cylinder 6. So those are the 6 injection plugs, and they just lay along the inlet manifold roughly like this. This one right at the front is for the temperature sensor 2 in the thermostat housing, which should be on Monza GSE with the Bosch LE injection. That is a black bodied plug, not blue. This one here is for the idle valve. And then here, this is an earth wire. This is really important. This screws onto the back of the inlet manifold on a little threaded spigot about there. It is often forgotten about, but which is really important. Here we have the throttle cable. And the third branch of the injection loom runs along the back of the engine bay bulkhead. I'll just move around. And contains the injection relay, often referred to as the fuel pump relay, but in fact it powers everything to do with the injection. And this relay is itself triggered by the distributor spark. There are two branches of the injection loom. Which plug into the main wiring loom. Oh, sorry, no, I'm getting mixed up here. There's a branch here, which I'm holding in my hand. This is the interface with the main wiring loom, here, in the end of my fingers. The red wire, if I'm not mistaken, is the fuel pump. I can't remember off the top of my head what the other ones are. This plug tends to vary according to the year of the car. Some of them are a different style, but basically this is where you interface the injection wiring loom with the car's main wiring loom. Now if you're doing a conversion on the Royale, obviously you need to make sure that the correct wires are joined up, and I'll do that as a separate instruction. This one here and that one there, which goes to this little vacuum operated switch on the bulkhead. This is for the ignition, and this is actually a separate loom by itself, which I'll come to in a minute. There's a long wire with a black cover over it, which goes all the way around the turret top down to the battery positive terminal here. So this is the black wire. This is where the injection system gets its power from. So you mustn't forget that. It simply screws onto the battery terminal as an add-on. As an aside, the main wiring loom picks up power from the starter motor down there with a red wire attached to the same threaded stud as this big thick red wire from the battery. So don't forget to attach this injection wire to the battery terminal, otherwise your injection system will have no power. That is the end of part 2.